Good morning, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update. Wednesday, November 17th, around noontime, Mountain Time, 2021. La Palma volcano continuing to shut down now for about a week. And we're just left with a little steam and a small amount of magma coming out. But the big story, U.S. Northwest Canada, devastated by floods. 1 death reported. Keep calm. It's boom time. Category 5 atmospheric river brings record-breaking river levels to the Pacific Northwest. Some are saying this is a 100-year event. Others are saying it's your fault. While more than 90% of the West is currently in some sort of drought, the one area that doesn't need more rain is getting all of it. The Pacific Northwest has gotten more rain in the last 2 weeks than they normally see for the entire month of November, which is also stacking up to be one of the top 5 wettest Novembers on record for Seattle. And it's even worse in British Columbia, where devastation has caused entire communities to be cut off. And we have some dramatic video showing the moments a U.S. Coast Guard helicopter crew rescues 10 people. And if you want to see that, we don't have the bandwidth. You can see here some of the still photos and some of those floodwaters below. Absolutely devastating. And there we have the video. Let's take a look.
All right, bring them inside the cabin.
Roger. When you get a chance, Christian, I'd like to know if we can bring the swimmers up if we have room in the cabin.
We do.
Roger.
So, big up to all those first responders out there making it happen. And that's not all that's happening. A potentially significant storm could hit the East Coast with rain and snow during the busy Thanksgiving travel weekend. Now, we looked at that, so we're going to be checking the model shortly. It only looks like maybe Boston and north up into Maine have any effect from the system, and we'll get to those models in just a moment. But that doesn't count out the lake effect snow machine, which will quickly return to the Great Lakes and has already been dumping up to a foot of snow in many regions. If we look at the 72-hour snowfall analysis, you can see those heavy snow bands from Lake Erie and Lake Huron and Superior here, dumping heavy snow in those rain belts in central New York, all the way down into Pennsylvania. There is also some snow all the way down into West Virginia. We have snow in the Rocky Mountains and high elevations, and more snow is predicted in the high elevations in the west. We can just walk this through. Here is your Thursday, November 18th. You can see Maine is going to be picking up some early snow there, a nice little slathering. And then take a look at what happens here by next week. British Columbia is going to see meters of snow, and it's going to be raining in lower latitudes. So the flooding there is going to continue as well as in the Northwest. Look at that. Look at these snow totals through Thanksgiving. And there's your little Thanksgiving storm. If you look up in the Northeast here, that could be potentially bringing up to 16 to 18 inches of snow in western Maine. It's insane, as well as northern New Hampshire and Vermont, the snow belts of central New York, and even, take a look at that, a little bit of Thanksgiving weekend skiing in the South Sierras. So, lots of snow for the ski resorts through Thanksgiving. It will be a bumper skiing year for those in the West and the East on Thanksgiving. So, happy skiing and snowboarding. Powerful storms for the upper Midwest and Alaska. A powerful storm will produce high winds in the upper Midwest, gusty winds from a cold front that will bring fire weather threats for parts of the plains. In Alaska, a powerful low-pressure system will produce gusty winds, bitter wind chills to minus 50 degrees across interior south-central Alaska, and heavy snow in southeast Alaska. Heavy rain may produce flooding and mudslides in American Samoa. And we're just waiting. Well, there's some winter storm watches up there in Maine for the snow to begin to fall. Ho, ho, ho. We don't subscribe to the New York Times, but a woman's body was recovered from a mudslide in British Columbia as evacuations continue, and there may be more loss of life. This is a once-in-a-century deadly storm, and take a look.
Described by officials as a once-in-a-century weather event, has severed road and rail links around Vancouver, part of Canada which has been increasingly forced to grapple with the effects of the climate crisis. Two motorways connecting the West Coast city were closed after being damaged by severe flooding. A woman was killed in a highway landslide, and rescuers say at least 2 other people are missing. The entire city of Merritt has been evacuated. Our North America correspondent David Willis has more.
After a summer of wildfires and record high temperatures has come this. More rain in a day than people here are used to in a month. It left hundreds trapped in their cars overnight, severed rail links to Canada's largest port in the city of Vancouver, and has cut power supply to thousands of homes. The rain has also brought with it mudslides, which forced the evacuation of an entire town. Hundreds of people, many of them children, were loaded onto buses after being airlifted to safety from the town of Agassiz in British Columbia. Others, meanwhile, have found themselves stuck inside with the floodwaters rising.
So, thoughts and prayers go out to everyone in British Columbia. It is not over, folks. There is more precipitation in the forecast coming to that region. Now, moving on to more world news. 3 dead, over 500 hospitalized in Egypt from heavy storms and scorpion stings. Yes, heavy rain and flooding in parts of the southern province of Egypt have left 3 people dead and 500 others hospitalized from scorpion stings. Downpours of hail and thunder in the province of Aswan over the weekend forced local authorities to suspend school and classes. Now, the storm forced scorpions from their hiding places into many houses across the province. And I don't know how all these people got stung, but apparently they did. More climate crisis. Meanwhile, in Italy, a water spout of epic proportion in Sicily. Take a look. Fantastic. And all the links, as usual, will be below. Coldest Hobart November night in 68 years. A little bit of late spring snow was sprinkled on Hobart on Monday, but the coldest night, November night, in almost 70 years. And that pales in comparison to Melbourne, enduring its coldest 4-day stint for mid-November in 167 years. Now, if this is your fault, well, it's news to me. It looks like we're repeating a natural climate cycle, a centennial cycle even. And it's chilly in Melbourne. Now, all this cold in Australia, in Europe, is leading European energy prices to hit fresh records as snow-laden polar plunge looms and rolling power outages are expecting this winter. Well, because of the green, chilly deal. And here's the photo of the week from David Bellamy. 20 ships caught out by global warming in the Arctic. The nuclear-powered Yamal and the diesel-powered Novorossiysk are on their way to save them. And those solar-powered icebreakers are still in development as record ice covers the Arctic. Arctic shippers eye a release from Russian ice captivity. Well, because all of the shippers think it's global warming. There's no ice in the Arctic, when in fact, record ice in the Arctic for November, and the ice is just building, and the entire Arctic is already covered. And we are in the 40-year multi-decadal average. This is the average ice extent since 1981. There is no climate catastrophe. There is no global warming in the Arctic. And there is record ice. The entire Arctic is covered with ice in mid-November. In November, to remember. And Greenland's ice loss trend has now reversed, Danish data reveals. Crisis averted. Now, the mainstream has been lying to you for years about Greenland losing ice. And in fact, the new data set coming out of Greenland's mass balance since 1986 showing Greenland's mass balance has raised by 200 gigatons since 2013. Straight up, those are the facts. Record ice in the Arctic, record ice in Greenland. And increasing. Now we're coming off of a major coronal hole stream, which has sent us into geomagnetic instability for about 12 of the last 36 hours. And it is a quite significant stream. It's lasted for days and has risen the plasma speed hitting Earth up into the 600-700 kilometer range. Pretty significant for just a minor coronal hole. Worldwide volcano news update. Fuego, Semaru, Ibu, Tucono, Reventador, Sangay, La Palma, Sakurajima. That's Sakurajima to you and me. La Palma still puffing to 8,000 feet with steam and ash as micro tremor is on the rapid increase. Now, does that mean that the eruption is kicking back up, perhaps, as many fearmongers think? Or is there another explanation in the microtremor? This microseismic tremor is happening, and take a look at the quakes at depth. Over 300 quakes in the last 24 hours, and those are all occurring at 12 kilometers and higher at the surface. There are no deep quakes like there were in the past because the lower magma chamber has probably collapsed, and now the upper chamber is empty, and it is collapsing as well. Then we come over and see if there's increased lava activity at the volcano here. And here we are live at La Palma, and you can see that seismicity increasing on the right here. And we have very low resolution. Currently, there it is. It's coming in a little clearer. There is still some lava coming out of the far side here of the main cinder cone, but in general, the upper vent here, just steam and sulfur dioxide happening here in this white. So very little ash, very little smoke. The amount of lava, and here you can see the SO2 is decreasing, as it has been for days. And this is all signs of potentially the final magma in the next few days coming out of this and the entire system going quiet. There's also activity over in Iceland. Increased activity in Iceland here, where they're finding a heat signature at extreme depth beneath the Fagradalsfjall eruption. No lava has come out here in about 2 months, but I just checked the seismos, and it looks like there is something happening on the Reykjanes Ridge, a microflurry of activity happening just in the last 6 hours, as well as south of Hekla, as well as at Bardabunga, as well as at Askja. So we have a lot to look at Iceland, and something is definitely about to pop there. Leonid meteor showers peak this week, followed by the longest lunar eclipse in 580 years. And we're going to show you the map on where you can see that. But let's talk about the Leonids. The Leonids are a yearly November show. Ho-ho. And let's see if we can get her to stop talking. No, probably not. Just pause it. The Leonids are a yearly November show resulting from the dust and debris left over from Comet 55P Tempel-Tuttle. There have been some amazing shows from the Leonids over the years. Last night I was out and I saw a brilliant dark red meteor, and I've never seen one that color. There have been some amazing shows from the Leonids in the past years, and there was certainly an amazing show last night here at the ranch. You can expect 10 to 15 meteors per hour Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and that was when I saw my meteor. But the best chance will be Wednesday morning after the moon sets, and that's over, kids. So go out there tonight and maybe you can see some residuals from the Leonids. And remember that the colors of a meteor depends on its chemical composition. Clearly, I saw a red one, which is nitrogen and oxygen. Most of them I see around here are magnesium, sodium, or iron. So that's just the nature and the composition of meteors, and a little tidbit I thought you might like to hear about. Now let's talk about this Beaver moon partial lunar eclipse on November 19th, the longest of the century in 580 plus years. That's insane. And most people in North America, well, they're going to see it. Everyone in South America, North America, almost everyone in Australia, and all of Asia and Russia here. In the dark zone, you're going to see the totality of this eclipse, the longest eclipse in almost 600 years. So go out and check out some local times in our area right here in Colorado. It begins at like 10 o'clock and it's full or total around 1 a.m. So it'll be earlier in the east and later in the west. So go check it out. And that's on the 19th. Now the moon's top layer has enough oxygen to sustain 8 billion people for 100 years. Sounds like a penal colony on the moon to me. Now, do you know about Hemp Lucid's Black Friday sale? Well, you do now. And there's a free calendar, and I'm going to leave you links. You just click on download the free calendar, and you get all of the Black Friday goodies. Today, well, it's day 3. Day 4, and that's Four-Legged Friends Day. So if you want some deep discounts on Hemp Lucid products for your pets, go in and check it out. Tomorrow is the Coolest Day, mint and menthol sale, free gift box and t-shirts on day 6, gummy sale day 7, Delta 8 day 8, and if you wait till Black Friday, the secret sale, hello, you're going to have some deep discounts. Check out Hemp Lucid at lucidnaturals.com or click the link below. Hope you got something out of the video. I like to think of myself as an apocalyptimist. Someone who knows it's all going to shit, but still thinks it will turn out okay. And that's a boom. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance in a dystopian world where record Arctic ice is not covered by the mainstream media. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this with like-minded people. Be safe. We love you. That's a boom.